So we've laid out your campaign, we've laid out what you've called Xi Jinping and the sneakers and the other things that you're wearing and your tweets. What is it that has inspired you to take not just a political stance on an issue, but a personal stance against the very leader of China?
Right. You know, someone had to do it. You see, there is so many athletes, so many actors, so many singers, and so many people who has a platform are speaking out many of the issues out there in the world. But when it comes to China, when it comes to, China's Communist Party, they're scared because they care too much about money, they care too much about business, and they care too much about endorsement deals. To me, the human rights and saving people's lives comes first. So that's why I wanted to do this project. And I remember I was holding a basketball camp this summer, and all the kids were lined up, and one of the parents asked me, you are an amazing human being, and you talk about the human rights violations are happening in Turkey all the time, but why haven't you said a word about the Uyghurs? You're a hypocrite. And that it hit me that moment. And I turned around and I told them, listen, I promise you I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to study and get back to you. And the more I study, the more I see that all human rights violations happening, all over the world. I was studying the Tibetans, what they're going through. I studied Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Uyghurs, obviously. And what was happening there was heartbreaking. I was like, you know what? Everybody's scared to say something. I'm going to be the first one to step up and actually take a stand.
Well, I mean, first one, yes, in being so ad hominem to Xi Jinping, but there have been other sports stars, including in the NBA or sports personnel, who have spoken out against China. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, I want to read this tweet, which is essentially what you've just been saying to me. Mm-hmm. You've said, Xi Jinping and the Chinese Communist Party, someone has to teach you a lesson. I will never apologize for speaking the truth. You cannot buy me. You cannot scare me. You cannot silence me. Bring it on. Now I want to say what the Chinese people have told us, the Chinese embassy here in London. They have said that, the campaign against Tibet and the Uyghurs by yourself, basically the fact that you accuse them of genocide and other such things is a lie. But what they say is, when it comes to the human rights situation in a country, it is the people of the country who are in the best position to make a judgment. Tibet and Xinjiang related issues are China's internal affairs, which brook no interference from outside forces. What's your reaction to that? That's China's traditional response, that these are our affairs and everybody else stay out of it. Do you really think you can make a difference?
Yes, I can. First of all, obviously, China uses money to buy silence. And there's so many athletes, so many actors out there scared to say a word. But like I said again, to me, the human rights comes first. And what I've been talking about, it's not like I have watched YouTube clips. No, I actually, learning from the first hand. I sit down with so many, concentration camp survivors, so many Hong Kongers and Tibetans and Taiwanese, and they were the ones told me from first hand their story and what was happening there. I sit down with this concentration, camp survivor, and she was telling me about all the horrible act that they were doing in there, how many times that she has raped and tortured before. And she was telling me about the organ harvesting, and she was telling me about the surveillance cameras. So when I hear about these stories, I believe that God gave me this platform to be the voice of all those innocent people out there who don't have a voice. So I was like, you know what? I understand this could affect a lot. But I'm just going to be the first one to step up and bring all the human rights violations that China is doing. And like I said in my tweet, I don't care about your endorsement deal. I don't care about your money, or I don't care about any kind of businesses that you're doing. If you are abusing people's rights, I'm going to say something.
Okay.
So to me, is way more important. Human rights is way more important than your money, your endorsement deals, or everything you can give me. So.
So, as you know, I mean, I don't need to tell you because you know, but let's just remind everybody that the Trump administration and the State Department labeled what China is doing to the Uyghurs as genocide. And if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
that still stands, I think, in the State Department right now. I don't believe that they have retracted that. And certainly many governments, including in the UK and others, have tried to say, you know, to the Chinese, you need to get your act together on the Uyghurs. But you're right, it's not as blunt as you're putting it. So you say you do not mind about the money, about the influence, about anything. But what about the NBA? They must mind, right? Because now, as we know, the Houston Rockets official who talked about Hong Kong a couple of years ago, they pulled all
Right.
NBA from Chinese state television. And now Tencent, which is the streaming device, has actually pulled you all from the streaming device. And that is a lot of money. I think they pay, let me just try and find this. I think they pay, more than $1 billion to the NBA.
Right.
So what do you say about that?
I will just tell you this. I am for justice and freedom. It doesn't matter who it's for or against. And I remember, I have been talking about all the human rights violations and injustices happening in Turkey for 10 years, and I did not get one phone call. I talk about China one day. Every 2 hours, I was getting a phone call once every 2 hours. I think too, when
Sorry,
2 years
who are you
ago, when
getting phone calls from? Is it from the NBA? Have they said anything? Because they haven't said anything publicly about you, as far as I can gather.
I will tell you a story. I remember it was the first time. It was our first game actually. It was in Madison Square Garden, and I wore a Free Tibet shoes and went out there. I remember right before the game, it was two guys from the NBA came up to me and say, "You have to take your shoes off. We are begging you." And I was like, "I'm sorry. What are you talking about?" He said, "You have to take those shoes off. We are getting so many calls." And I was like, "Is there a rule that I'm breaking by wearing the shoes?" They said no. Then I was like, okay, I'm ready to get, if you're gonna, look, I'm getting ready for my citizenship test, and I've been studying really hard. And there's 27 amendments, and my first amendment is the greatest amendment, is the freedom of speech. And I'm like, I know my rights. You cannot take my right away. You cannot take my rights away from me. And I was like, I don't care if I get fined, I'm not gonna take my shoes off. And they told me, we are not talking about fine, we are talking about getting banned. I'm like, listen, I don't care if whoever your boss is, go tell him I'm ready to get banned. If I'm breaking any rules, tell me. I'll be the first one to follow the rules. But if I'm not breaking any rules, I'll take him off.
Okay,
Obviously, they came and apologized in a halftime, and they said sorry. But I was like, I'm not breaking any rules, so I'm gonna do what I'm doing.
Okay, so do you think the NBA, therefore, has come to a different kind of understanding of all of this? Because back when the Houston Rockets official, Daryl Morey, he tweeted, all he did was tweet in support of pro-freedom and pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong, and the NBA didn't back Morey. But subsequently, in the intervening time, they have said the NBA will not put itself in a position of regulating what players, employees, and team owners say or will not say on these issues. We simply could not operate that way. So you must be satisfied with their stance.
Like, let me just tell you this first. NBA made me do this because every time when one of the NBA teams or the commissioner came out and speak, they say, we are encouraging our players to talk about whatever they want to talk about. We are giving the freedom to our players to talk about all the injustices happening around the world, all the human rights abuse around the world. So they give me this right. They told me to do this, basically. But the other thing is, obviously, I sit down with people from the NBA, and I even sit down with Adam Silver and had a conversation. And I told him, Adam, listen, am I breaking any rules? Because if I'm breaking any rules, please tell me. I'll be the first one to follow every NBA rule, because NBA give me what I have, and I don't want to break any kind of rules that you guys have put on. He said, no, you're not breaking any rules. Well, I told him, is the NBA against China? Is NBA and Adam Silver and all the organizations, all the teams and owners are are they supporting Enes Kanter? He told me, yes, we are supporting you against China. So that is one. The second thing is, I don't know how much that is true, because, if they were really supporting me, they would have put something out there. They would have they would have put like some kind of statement, or they would have put some kind of because I told Adam this too. Our team games, the Boston Celtics games are banned in China, and this is unacceptable just because I talk about the human rights violations that are happening over there. People think I do politics. I don't do politics.
Okay.
I do human rights.
All right.
So,
I just want to make sure, you're not saying the NBA gave you the green light to say this stuff. You're just saying that their rules are that freedom of expression is an American right. Or are you saying they specifically gave you the green light?
Exactly.
So not specifically, but just the general commitment to freedom of speech, right?
Right, yes.
Okay. So let me ask you about Nike, because I just spotted another one of your shoes as we were talking. And you've obviously taken you've taken on Nike, and you have basically said it's scared to speak up against China, and you suggest the company is tainted by forced labor, because on your shoe it says slave labor. I can see it right now. But Nike says it does not source products from that region, nor it says it's committed to ethical and responsible manufacturing, and we uphold international labor standards. We've obviously tried to reach out to them. We haven't heard back.
Obviously.
Why do you keep criticizing them if that's what their public's, their response to that is?
I will just say you this, Nike obviously is the biggest sponsor for NBA. And 2 years ago, right, when all this, Black Lives Matter happened, Nike was one of the first company out there was standing with Black Lives Matter. Nike in America, Nike stands with Stop Asian Hate. Nike stands with LGBTQ community. Nike stands with Latino community. But when it comes to China, Nike remains silent because China is the big boss for Nike. And I mean, obviously, they are not going to be able to answer because they know what they're doing wrong. They're one of the biggest, hypocrite company in the world.
But you're not accusing them in this case of profiting from slave labor or using any products from there, because they deny it.
Well, it's total lie. Everyone in the world knows that there are so many slave labor camps over there in China and many other countries that they are the Nike is profiting from. So that was one of the biggest reasons that I put on my shoes modern day slavery and hypocrite Nike, just because of they are profiting from slave labor camps. And it just disgusting to me see all the Nike athletes standing up and they're calling themselves a social justice warrior and still can wear these items on their shoe, on their feet, or on their back, where on these items there is so much blood and sweat and oppression. And to me, if you're a Nike athlete, to me you're a hypocrite.
Well, we're definitely going to have to reach out to them further to put these accusations to them.
I would love to hear their response, please.
But you started this, essentially, as you mentioned earlier, you started this activism for human rights in your own country or about your own country. You have been very critical of President Erdogan, and you also adhere and support to the anti-Erdogan religious political leader who's based in the United States. You've been, you've had your passport revoked, you haven't seen your family in 7 years. Do you think you'll be able to see them again? How far are you prepared to take all this, particularly when it affects you personally?
Good question. Last time I saw my family was back in 2015. And, last time I talked to my family, I can't even remember. But there are so much human rights violations that are happening over there in Turkey. And, Dictator Erdogan obviously using his power to abuse Red Notice system, Interpol. So that is one of the biggest reasons that I cannot travel outside of America, because they put my name in Interpol list. And it just said that because Turkey is number one, jailing journalists in the world. And that shows that there is no freedom of speech over there. It just, I was talking about this issue so much, and just because of the NBA platform, it was becoming a conversation. They put my dad in jail. for a while. But we put so much pressure from here in America to Turkey, they let him go. But I mean,
Right.
all the dictatorships are same. They're just
Yeah.
scared of the being strong voices. So we just have to pray for him.
Enes Kanter, thank you very much for joining us and explaining your campaign. Obviously, we have asked Chinese officials to come and explain their side, and they have declined to do so other than give us the statements that we read out. Enes Kanter, thank you very much indeed.